Welcome, everybody, to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show, and we're really glad you're here this Sunday morning. Here it is, June 27th, Jamie. We're into summer officially.
Yes.
And we've been enjoying some nice sunny weather.
Kind of.
And rainy weather. Combinations of both. Cooler weather, hotter weather,
yes.
Humid weather,
all the
drier
seasons,
weather.
all in 1 month.
That's right. So we like variety here in Ohio, right? That's why we live here.
Sure.
For the scenery and the drastic variety in weather. Okay. You need to tell me where the scenery's at, though. I haven't found it yet.
I haven't found the weather.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone this morning. Jamie and I just like to have fun recording this show, right, Jamie?
That's right.
And it is the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show, and we are really proud to be really the largest design build remodeler in the Columbus area, and have been for a number of years. So we thank the people in Columbus for hiring us, trusting us, and we love working for the people here, changing their houses and really changing their lives in many cases.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, so Jamie, tell us about what we talked about last week in case anyone missed.
Okay, so last week we went over kind of the do's and don'ts with the bathroom remodel. Gave some things to think about, some considerations with the floor plan. Just overall a great show to listen to if you're thinking about doing a bathroom remodel, or maybe want to convince your significant other to do a bathroom remodel. Just some of those nuances that you sometimes can almost get used to but know that you hate, and just some great ideas for future projects. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
So in my case, my wife, she's got a lot of projects that she likes me to do on the home. So whenever I buy something, like if I buy a car or something, then my brother and his wife say, well, what did Linda get? Whenever I buy anything, well, what did Linda get? And I don't usually say much about that. And my wife, she's such a sweetheart, but she has a brand new kitchen, a brand new master bathroom, doing brand new railing now, front entry. She has a beautiful powder room. So I do a ton of work on the house because she loves that.
Yeah.
And so I've spent more on my dear wife than I have on myself, but I don't tell my brother that. So and he lives in Atlanta, so unless he's listening on podcast, he won't hear this. So
okay.
We'll just
Fair
keep
enough.
It our secret, right?
Fair enough. Yes.
Okay. So today we have a very interesting show because if the people listening are like me, and I think most of them are, if you're interested in doing something, probably one of the first things that comes to your mind is, can I afford it? How much is it?
Right.
And I like to hunt for things, I don't like to shop. I like to hunt. And I go for the jugular right away. I want the important data quick, and I'll scour the internet and I'll spend, an hour or two researching something, and I want to find the information I want, and I don't want to be chasing all these little bunny trails and thinking you're going to get some information, and you get there and you got to go deeper, and you got to join this site, and you got to log in here and blah blah blah. I get so frustrated with that. I just want the info so I can make a decision.
I know. Well, you and I have talked about this before, but both of our pet peeves is when you go to a website and that there's a pop-up. The first thing, no matter what page you go to on the website, there's a pop-up for you to sign up and give your email address. Yeah. We will never have that on our website because no one likes it. Yeah. The first thing I do is X out of it, or any store. It's like, sign up now for 20% off. No, just give me the 20% off. Yeah. I don't need to go through this. I don't need more emails. Don't lead you down
through all the tunnels.
Right. Like, stop me. And then the worst is when it's on every page you go to also. Like, you don't just have to X out that one time or on the home page, but then the next page you go to, you have to X out. The next page you go to, you have to X out. Yeah. Now it's all those cookie notifications. Yes. By the way, we're tracking everything you do and see. Yep.
Extremely annoying.
It's fine, but stop bugging me about it.
Okay. So at Dave Fox, we do not do that to you.
No.
At our website, we want you to get the info you want right away and easy.
Yes.
And today on this radio show, we're going to do that about pricing of remodeling projects. Okay, so what if someone's thinking about a kitchen and they think, oh my gosh, I don't really know how much it's going to cost, or a bathroom or a room addition, anything like that. So many people are afraid to give numbers, and we're going to talk numbers today. We're going to give numbers, and we're going to talk about what those numbers mean, because obviously you can be, the spectrum can be really wide on the cost of any remodel project.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk through some of the scenarios of why are some projects more expensive than others? Why are some contractors more expensive than others? Because there's no secret, Dave Fox Remodeling is known as being a more expensive remodeler. But almost all of our clients will say, you know what, we paid more, but it was worth it. And
That's
to me, that is just fine.
Yeah.
Because we want to be delivering top-notch quality service, and you can't do that for a cheaper price.
That's right.
Unless you want to go out of business.
Yeah.
Okay. And we don't want to do that. We want to be here and be
Yes.
strong for all the people that we've served, so that we're here when they need us.
Yeah, I think you're so right, Gary. And it's so much about that service. Everyone thinks, oh, a kitchen remodel is a kitchen remodel. And it's really not. You can remodel your kitchen so many different ways with so many different types of materials, quality of those materials, and then the services that go along with them. Sometimes maybe you just hire, a guy in his truck. Well, that can lead to a great kitchen, but you're not necessarily going to have somebody to help make the material selections for that kitchen. So if you're the type of person that doesn't want that, well, then you need to know that ahead of time. But if you do want that service isn't free.
Yeah.
Almost nothing's free.
Yeah.
But so we are known as being being expensive. We get that all the time. Oh, you guys are expensive, aren't you? Well, what do you want? Is what you want expensive?
Yeah.
Things like that. You got to take all of that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When people will talk to me about pricing, and they'll say, well, I got this price and it was a lot less than yours, or they may have done a project in that. And I always ask them, I say, do you really believe you got the same thing? And they never answer yes. They always know, yes, there's more that could have been in that project, better quality, better service, who knows what.
Yeah.
But they never say, yes, we think we got the same thing at it for a cheaper price. I've never heard that yet.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So
definitely.
Today we're talking numbers. We're going to open the books. We're going to expose it all. We're not going to hold back anything from all of our listeners out there, because we just like to be upfront and honest and let everybody know exactly what they're getting into and what they're looking at, and making sure it's good for them. And you mentioned, Jamie, there's different size remodelers, different types of companies. Mm-hmm. So there's so many scenarios and homeowners and situations, and we're there for the client that wants overall management of the project. They want good design. They want an interior designer. They want to spend time on it, and they're willing to pay for those services. I
think trust is another really big factor that our clientele tends to look for. Especially, we've even heard the comment before, from a client they mentioned on the survey, they have teenage daughters at home. They didn't want just anybody coming in and out of their house all day. They wanted people that they could trust. And I think that's huge. Trust when it's your home where you're actively living most of the time, it's a big deal. Trust is a big deal.
Yeah. So in terms of pricing and different remodelers that do different things, everyone out there has a different needs. And some people, that guy in a pickup truck with another helper would be the perfect solution for them.
That's right.
So we're not bad-mouthing or looking down on any of those contractors. That's the way I started out. Okay?
Right.
A pickup truck and one helper. So I appreciate those guys. They're hard workers, and they're usually out in the evenings running estimates and stuff and working during the day, and they're putting a lot of time and effort into it. So I have a lot of respect for those guys. I was one years ago. So today you've tuned in to the station that's going to give you the real information about pricing on remodeling projects, but we're not going to do it until after this break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show, where today we're talking about pricing of projects, right, Jamie?
That's right. Everybody's biggest question.
That's right. And are we going to tell them the truth about pricing, or are we going to just him haul around and say it costs $20,000, but really it costs $40,000? Or how do you want to handle this?
No, we always try and be as accurate as possible. It's in our best interest to be as accurate as possible. So we are going to lay it all on the table. All our cards are on the table.
All right. Here goes the honest truth. So we want to start with what, Jamie?
Well, let's start with a small kitchen.
Okay.
So a small kitchen, you kind of picture in a Clintonville home, in maybe an Upper Arlington home, kind of Old Worthington area, that size home, sometimes a ranch, colonial style, that sort of style home that has a smaller kitchen. So when you're thinking of a small kitchen or even a pull and replace kitchen, those can kind of be lumped together. And you're really looking at starting at least $65,000 to do that today. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
There's no other way to say that. It's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But what you're getting in a kitchen is everything that you do every day. I mean, every meal you eat, everything like that. And the cabinetry and the countertops, and we're talking everything in that kitchen and in that space.
Yeah. And, it just occurred to me, Jamie, the first number, like when obviously we talk to clients all the time about remodeling, but the first number you throw out is the number that sticks in everyone's head. So now everyone listening thinks that their small kitchen is going to cost $65,000.
Right.
But how did you phrase that? You said they start at $65,000.
Yeah, it'll be at least $65,000. It most likely will not be $65,000.
So it could be $66,000.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Or $76,000. Mm-hmm. It goes up from there, and it's so hard too because everyone wants to know on that initial phone call, how much does my kitchen cost? Mm-hmm. And there's too many more questions to ask that we can't assess necessarily over the phone. And that's where that initial consultation is really so important, to come out, see the space, talk to you about, okay, what is it really you're looking for? And, what are you trying to put in this kitchen, especially in this small kitchen? What are you trying to fit in here? And what are you trying to do in here? You want all marble countertops? Okay. This is not a $65,000 kitchen. Mm-hmm. You want all custom cabinetry with every, bell and whistle? This is not a $65,000 kitchen anymore. Mm-hmm. And so all those types of conversations, I've heard you say before, a faucet can be $200 and it could be $2,000. Mm-hmm. And so the choices that you make within that small kitchen and within that pull and replace even are going to impact the cost of that kitchen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of give general ranges because we do this stuff all the time, and obviously we've done a lot of Clintonville size homes.
Yeah.
And so if we say they start at 65, I would say a reasonable range, if people aren't getting carried away, would be in the 65 to 85 range.
Yeah.
For a small kitchen.
Yeah.
And I should make a point that doesn't include appliances.
Yes.
But it includes virtually everything else.
Yes.
So it's turnkey except appliances.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't sell appliances. There's not really any need for us to, because we have great appliance people. What am I trying to say? Appliance stores.
Yeah. Well, and the installs and everything like that. And the appliance industry is a huge industry. There's so many different types of appliances and everything like that. And I think it's sending you to the professional that knows everything about every appliance. Our interior designers are there to help you with the tile and the cabinetry, and they know everything about the tile and cabinetry and et cetera that we work with. Mm-hmm. But appliances is just a whole nother ball game, and it's a whole nother long list of nuances and facts and capacity and sizes and everything like that. So bringing in that secondary professional for appliances is really beneficial. A lot of times also a remodel doesn't have to include new appliances.
Yeah.
You might have just replaced your appliances.
All new.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when we give these budget ranges, we are not including appliances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when you think, okay, $65,000, $85,000, that is a lot of money. So what makes up that number in a kitchen remodel? So, well, go ahead.
So let's think of a medium to large kitchen, just for the sake of kind of more round numbers. Because for a medium to large kitchen, which you might find more in maybe Powell or Westerville, Dublin, even New Albany, is more that kind of size home that typically has a medium to large kitchen. There you're really looking at $100,000 plus. Mm-hmm. So let's just play with $100,000 kitchen.
Okay.
Let's say we're doing a $100,000 kitchen. Where are we at with cabinetry? I would assume is the most expensive part of that.
An average, I think, cabinet package would be, let's say, 25 to 35,000. Yeah.
And and it would depend on the client and what the conversation was if we're already kind of including all those custom storage solutions within each drawer and things like that. We have what we call allowances. So if the client has mentioned, I definitely want, all drawers, or I definitely want, the pegs and the drawers and the knife storage and all this stuff, and the spices are really important to me, then our interior designer knows ahead of time to kind of include some allowance for those types of things. But if you're wanting really basic bones cabinetry, then that's what we'll start with that. So people always ask about change orders and things like that. And it just depends on kind of what that conversation was up front versus the reality of what you really want once you get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So you've got the cabinet package and you've got the countertops. Which are always a stone or a granite. Quartz.
Yeah. Definitely seeing a lot of quartz.
Yeah. So there's going to be $10,000, $12,000 in your countertop. You've got your tile backsplash. You've got your flooring. You've got your lighting packages. So in a small kitchen, maybe your cabinet package is $15,000. Then you still have your stone counters, which are going to be in probably the 6 to 8 range. You've got all your plumbing fixtures, your sink, your faucet. There's definitely some money there. You got typically a tile backsplash. You got the lighting package, and the lighting package in a small kitchen can easily be $3,000 to $5,000. And it's like, oh my gosh, then that's all the electrical. I mean, that's running. If we're relocating anything, that's running a new wiring to the appliances. That's putting new lighting in, which is so critical in a kitchen remodel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, in a kitchen remodel, everything adds up. So when you look at your sink, your faucet, your hardware even, bronze is really in now, and that can really add up, especially when you're talking about appliance pulls or, excuse me, if you want to get all of your appliances to have the panels, that's another big expense. That's not only the appliance, but then you got to cover the appliance. And all of that can kind of change the course of that project and the cost that goes into it.
Sure. Then we have what we would call a pull and replace kitchen remodel versus kind of a gut remodel.
Right.
So pull and replace is going to be pretty much using the same layout and cabinetry. So if you have a U-shaped kitchen, it's going to stay a U-shaped. If it's a galley, if it's a peninsula, we're going to keep the same general shape. We're typically not going to move appliances very much at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a few inches here or there just so that the cabinets align, but we're not changing any mechanicals that are feeding the stove or a gas cooktop or anything like that. So that helps keep the cost down, pull and replace. If we're not doing a pull and replace, but really just a gut remodel and kind of changing a bunch of stuff, that's obviously going to cost more and add more to the cost, and that gets you in the higher range that we were talking about. So we were talking 65 to 85 in a small kitchen. So the 85 kitchen is going to be, a little more interior work, wall changes, more flooring, different lighting package, rearranging some cabinets, moving appliances, that type of stuff. So kitchens can be all over the map. We've talked about small kitchens. And then, of course, there's the larger ones, which really deserve a lot of attention, which we're going to devote here to our third segment this morning. So if you're thinking about a kitchen remodel, and especially if you have a middle to larger size home, you're definitely going to want to stand by for segment 3. We'll be right back. Thanks for being out there, all the radio audience, listening to us this morning at the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. I'm Gary Demas, and I have Jamie Braslowski with me. Jamie, you're our marketing director. I'm the president of the company, and we just have a lot of fun with our work, don't we?
We sure do.
That's right. So today, if you're just tuning in, we are talking real pricing information for remodeling projects. So if you always wondered what a Dave Fox kitchen or a bathroom or room addition costs, you're listening to the right show. And if you missed the first half of the show, Jamie, how are they going to find that?
Well, you can visit our website at davefox.com, and you can also go to davefoxradio.com, where we'll have this this radio broadcast posted, you can listen to it there. And you can also find us on any podcast platform, just Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Listen to us wherever.
Okay, so right before last segment, we were talking about kitchens and pricing on kitchens, and we had talked about the smaller kitchens like a Clintonville or smaller home starting at about $65.
Yes.
And going up. And, no matter what we're talking about, there's always the or going up part of it, because a faucet can cost $100 or $2,000.
That's right.
Yeah. And you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, are making those decisions. We are just presenting you with the materials that we feel would suit your home well and your tastes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think, too, sometimes with the smaller kitchens, I can think of one in particular that we did in Clintonville. With a really small space like that, you're going to want to pack in more storage solutions into your cabinetry. So sometimes, even though it's a really small kitchen and maybe it only has, 10 cabinets, in those cabinets, you might want all those kind of customized storage solutions to really help maximize the space in each of those cabinets. So each drawer might have a secondary pullout. Each drawer might have a specialty knife, storage system, or every cabinet might have something specific for your pots and pans. And when you have a small space, you really need to maximize and make sure every little square inch is working for you. Yeah. And that can actually make cabinetry more expensive to get all of those extras and those customizations. So that's again where that plus comes into play. Yeah. When you have the larger kitchens, you can often get away without doing any of the customization in every drawer. It does make things a lot easier and better, but you can get away with it. Whereas in a small kitchen, you really want all of those things to maximize
storage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the door style and finishes can double the cost. You can take a good quality cabinet. So the cabinet box is the same, the drawer guides are the same, but the doors and the finish on the doors can double the cost of those cabinets. So there's things like that are homeowner decisions. We're just there to help educate them and show them the options. We're not there to tell them what to do.
Yes.
But we're presenting them with the price ranges and options, and they make the decision. So it's all what's important to the homeowner, because it's their home and we're there to serve them. So,
well, and that's actually, Gary, another good point is that, if you come to us with a budget in mind and you say, I really want to do my kitchen, but $150,000 is my absolute max. We're not going to show you this option that would bring you to $200,000. Our interior designers, that's what they're there for, is to kind of hone down those options for you, to stay within your parameters and give you choices that you will love and are beautiful and are great quality, but we're not going to push you outside of that comfort zone. If you've strictly said, I do not want to go above this figure, we're going to give you everything you want that we can in that budget and show you those options. Yeah. And I always say that to, anyone that calls in that's considering hiring an architect, or maybe they already did, or wondering what the difference is between hiring an architect and then hiring a designer. I think that's one really important thing to think about with a design build firm. We're always designing and building with your budget in line. So those are kind of done side by side simultaneously. Design, budget, design, budget, design, budget. An architect is strictly designing, which is super fun. Yeah. But you might not be getting things done within your budget.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Now, we are human and we do make mistakes. And sometimes it's very challenging for us to come up with an accurate range. We can talk about numbers, and if we get specific with numbers and we talk about the project that our client wants, and if we can't, we'd ask for a design retainer because we put a lot of effort and time and drawings into design. So if we give a client a budget range on a project and we have a good understanding what they want, and if we can't meet that budget, then we will refund their retainer if they're not happy with what they've ended up with. Yeah. So, we're not perfect. We can't nail that right on target all the time. We do give ranges, which is important for everyone to know because they want to know what they're getting into and if it's feasible for them. Yeah. But if we miss it and it's our problem, then we would refund that retainer.
Yeah. Well, and we want to be right just as much as the client wants us to be right. It does us no service to give you the wrong budget range. Right. So they always have the best intentions, and it only benefits themselves if you're happy as well. So I think that's a good point. So we were talking about medium to large kitchens being over $100,000 and kind of breaking down that cost of the cabinetry. Countertops are a big factor. And then even, like you said, the finishes. So you have the finishes on the cabinetry, you have the finish on the countertop. You know, now even sometimes there's the matte finish on a countertop on quartz, which bumps up the price 10, 15, 20% even. So all of those little decisions can just really kind of start to add up and make big differences in your cost of your project.
Yeah. So we're saying 100,000 plus, and quite frankly, we do a lot of kitchens that are, 140, 160, 180. There's just so much that can be done. Walls being changed. The scenario is just endless.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon at all, and especially in larger homes, to be well into the 100,000 or even up to the 200,000 range.
Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly 100,000 is definitely the low range, especially now with everything and prices are increasing and things like that for product and material. That just is the expectation of a kitchen.
Yeah. Jamie, we are running short on time because we have a lot of other projects to cover.
We really
here.
do.
We better get moving along here. What's next?
Okay. So let's just skip ahead to a bathroom.
Okay.
I feel like that's another really big project that consumers like to take. And so when you're looking at your master bathroom, we'll start the bigger end this time. Those come in a lot of different shapes and sizes.
Yes.
But on average, they start at least $60,000.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be very minimal.
Yeah. And, we've done master bathrooms that are more the size of a hall bath, and maybe it's just double sinks and a shower. And then we've done master baths that were 700 square feet and we needed to fill the space with an island and, extras and a steam shower and things like that. So there's such a wide range. I think bathrooms actually have a wider range than a kitchen.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Everything that goes into a bathroom can be so different. Is it just a toilet? Is it a toilet with a bidet? Is it a toilet that sings to you? I mean, which is it? And then the tubs, what they've done with tubs is incredible. All the different types of bubbles and therapies and colors and textures and everything with the tubs. Or if you even have one. Yeah. There's a lot of factors in that master suite, but you're definitely 60 plus.
Yeah. The typical, there are some very small masters, but typically the ones we're looking at are they're going to have an existing tub and shower, double vanity, closet area. So they're going to be a significant size. And if you get into something like that, then, probably 80 would be the very minimum. Yeah. And a lot of master bathrooms go well over $100,000. But there you're getting into a lot of expensive fixtures. You're getting into a lot of plumbing. Many times we're relocating a toilet or a tub or a shower. Yeah. We're always greatly enlarging the shower and making it much more of an experience rather than just a corner where you get wet and wash yourself. Yeah. So showers are a big deal. We need to spend a little more time talking about showers because everyone's very interested in showers now. Yeah. And that's how they bathe. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. We're really glad you're listening this morning on 610 WTVN or on a podcast somewhere in the remote parts of the earth. You might be up on the North Pole. Maybe. And listening on what station would that be, Jamie?
Well, it's not a station on podcast.
Oh, okay. See, that shows. Okay, shows what I know about it. Maybe they.
Well, let's go back to what you do know about.
Okay, maybe they download it on their phone and they're at the North Pole listening to it.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I do know about remodeling.
Yes.
And pricing on remodeling. That's what we're talking about today. And we've decided during the break that there's no way we're going to finish this show today. We're going to have to, next week, we're going to finish up, even if we finish it then. There's just so much to talk about. Yeah. So we've hit kitchens on the first two segments. We started bathrooms last segment, but we really need to spend probably this whole segment talking more about bathrooms.
That's right.
And we were talking about showers right before the break. Showers are a very, very important part of any bathroom remodels today because almost everybody every morning takes a shower. And a shower is a retreat. I mean, I love my shower. I've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
I have a 1/4-inch plate glass in there, backlit with an image on it, a painted image, which is amazing. And it gives just a beautiful light in the shower. And my shower is a steam shower. And what else? I got the rain head shower, which I love. A lot of women prefer a wall mount, shower head, but I love the rain head. So I'm in there every morning, and I just love it. Or after a workout, I'll go in the steam room and just enjoy it. Just sit there sweating to death, enjoying every minute of it. My wife is not as fond of the steam room. She uses it occasionally, but
yeah. I think I would only use it if I had like a cold or something.
Oh, yeah. It's great for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bathroom is really a private space where you kind of just care for yourself.
That's right.
It needs to be a retreat because you're in it every single day, for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
So it's worth spending a little extra money on that, right, Jamie?
Yeah. I mean, I think it can totally change the start. I mean, it's where you start and end every day. So it should be a space that gives you joy. And I think to start and end your day in a space that works well for you, functions well for you, and doesn't have any frustrations and de-stresses you is so impactful on your life and so impactful to everything that you do that it is definitely, to me, if I was given the choice, I don't know which one I would do first, my master bathroom or my kitchen. Oh. Because they're both so impactful in your everyday life.
Yep.
But a bathroom really, I mean, starting your day off on the right or wrong foot can make or break every day.
Yep.
So I think a bathroom's a really good one to do. And there's a lot of stuff in a bathroom, and having kind of those specialty organizations and outlets and everything in its right place and home, I think can be really impactful as well. That's one of my favorite things with remodeling is that customization to kind of the way you live in your home and what you do every day. Those are my favorite conversations I overhear with our interior designers and design team with the client is kind of, okay, how do you go about your day? Okay, well then we should have things in those places for that order. And really, kind of investigating and doing a study of your space and what would work best for you.
Yeah. I think bathrooms, when we talk, in kitchens, we talked about pull and replace, where you're leaving all the fixtures where they were.
Yeah.
And replacing the cabinets pretty much where they were before. Bathrooms, I find that we are more often moving things in bathrooms than we are in kitchens, because a lot of the 80s bathrooms had the big giant tub with the steps going up to it.
Yeah.
Which was so amazing back then for about 1 year, and then everyone figured out this is really stupid.
Yeah.
But so where the bath, the shower was real little and the bath was real big back then. Now it's the opposite.
Yes.
The shower is the main focus. So people are enlarging their showers and they're doing beautiful tile work in showers.
Yeah.
Tile work is not inexpensive.
No.
There's so much work that goes into that. The
install, I mean, it's an art form. It's a true art form.
Yeah. But even before you start putting the tile on, there's a lot of work that happens. And we use this waterproof membrane that goes on all the walls first and wraps around the corners and the base. So you've got a completely waterproof envelope before the first piece of tile even goes in there. That's a lot of work, a lot of prep. We're enlarging it, so we're having to build different walls. Then we're putting all this beautiful tile in there. We're putting beautiful shower doors in, knee walls with a marble top or, quartz top, quartz thresholds or no thresholds.
Benches.
Yeah. So a shower alone could easily exceed $20,000.
Yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, and so, I mean, bathrooms, even a hall bath is going to be an expense. I mean, you're looking at least $30,000, $40,000 for that hall bath. And because it still has the same stuff. I always say this with basements too, the tile doesn't care where it's going. It costs the same, whether it's in the kids' bathroom, the basement bathroom, or your powder room that everybody uses. It doesn't care where it's going, so it's going to it's expensive, especially marble is so popular now. I feel like that marble look, especially in a bathroom or doing all white everything, and it's expensive.
Yeah. You know, having good tile setters makes all the difference, because when you think a good tile setter is going to lay that thing out like you can't believe. They spend so much time laying it out, because if there's a wall niche or any, fixtures, where they go in the wall and the size of the tile and where they have to cut and where the tiles meet and how they align with all that stuff. It's a lot of work to get it all laid out right, because, it depends on the size of the tile, or many times there's varied sizes and different shapes. All that has to go together.
Yeah.
So just the prep work is really exhausting. And then our tile setters, they are true artists. They are real artists.
Yes.
It's amazing what they do, the pieces they cut and how precise everything ends up. So yeah, there's a lot of expense in that, but it's a piece of artwork in your bathroom.
Yeah, absolutely. I love when we do the kind of inset tile rug look around a freestanding tub. Changing out the tile to be a tile rug is such an impressive look, and it's really stops you in your tracks when you see it.
Yeah. So the master bath is going to be in a very small situation, typically 60,000 or more. If you've got a larger master bath, a large tub, small shower, you need to swap those double vanities, walk-in closet, all that kind of stuff. Probably 80, or definitely well over 80 is about where you'd be in those scenarios, and easily up to 120, 130. And if sometimes they're very large rooms, like bigger than a bedroom, and in that case you could be, anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, and then even a half bath. We do projects that are just a half bath, and for those you're typically looking at 15 or 20,000 plus.
I'd say that's the starting point, because a lot of times the powder room is going to be on the first floor. The guests are going to use it, so a lot of times clients will want to do those really nice.
Yes.
As my wife wanted to do in ours. Just ask me about it. So you're usually going to have very stunning fixtures and flashy elements, and to show off to all your friends and neighbors that come in.
That's right. It is a space that people spend.
Yeah.
So I would say you can do it for 15 to 20, but if you're wanting it to be kind of a showstopper, you're definitely going to need to up that to more.
Yeah, in the 30, 40 range.
Yeah.
So it'd be a powder room on the first floor.
Definitely.
Okay, so folks, you've been listening to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show, where we give honest information about remodeling pricing, and we don't play any games. As I mentioned earlier, we're not going to have time during this show to cover all the different projects we need to do. So next Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, we're going to continue our list, where we'll be talking about basements, room additions, sunrooms, all kinds of stuff. So if you ever want to reach us, you can email info@davefox.com. We'd love to hear from you and answer any questions you may have. And otherwise, Jamie and I will be back here next Sunday morning at 8.